Okay, this is hilarious. I love the little braids coming out of the hat with the mask. All right, I picked this mask today. I don't do masks very often, but every once in a while I do because they're fun. Remember, supersizing our business, owning our own business is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to make us happy, excited, curious, adventurous. Whatever it is that makes you feel alive and happy is supposed to be part of our business, right? Well, this is kind of the dark side of our businesses and the stuff we don't really like to look at because it's the stuff that sucks. It's the stuff in our business and our life sometimes that sucks, that isn't working out. Now, if you're offended by me using the word sucks, I think that you need to leave the group because I do not, as a pajama grandma, swear or say things like that very often, but every once in a while I do because I want you to know this is important. I'm adamant about it. I'm passionate about this. You've got to look at what's not working in your business and in your life if you want to supersize your business. If that's something that you don't want to look at and you don't want to admit that something in your business isn't perfect, then this is definitely not the group for you because nothing in life is perfect. You might strive for perfection and to do the best you can and be the best you can be, and that's awesome. We all need to be the best individual person that we are, not like anybody else, the best version of ourselves. Yep, I'm all on board with that, but there's no such thing as perfection because things are always changing. We're always changing. We're always growing, and we have to respond to that and be different, be better, be more. And if you're not willing to do that, if you think that you're already the most awesome being on the planet, this definitely ain't the group for you because Pajama Grandma doesn't have any time for that false bravado and false egotistical, overly confident, cocky crap. Now, maybe I did in my 20s and maybe I resembled that in my 20s and that's why I feel strongly about it now. But as we evolve and grow and change, and as we supersize our businesses, it is going to, the biggest challenge, I'm going to tell you a secret right now, the biggest challenge in supersizing your business has nothing to do with the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, or threats of the business itself. It's all about you as the business owner and who you have to become to lead the supersized organization that you want to lead. That's the secret. The secret is in first, you become the leader that is capable of leading that organization, and then that organization automatically, almost like magic, manifests itself and creates itself and exists in your life now, in your reality. But it's all about who you become along the way. And I know probably I lost a few of you on that because that is a huge amount of personal responsibility to actually understand and admit that my success is entirely up to me. My business success, whether my business succeeds or fails, whether my business is supersized or not, the size of my business right now is entirely up to me. And if I don't like what's going on in my business, if I don't like my sales and profitability, if I don't like the customers I'm working with, if I don't like any aspect of what's going on in my business, then I have to change. And when I change, everything changes. And maybe all I have to change is my attitude or my belief about something. And that different perspective changes everything. Another secret. Oh, don't you love when I give secrets? So today we're looking at the things we suck at. What are the weaknesses of our business? And it's going to mean that we got to take a little personal inventory and ask ourselves, what are my personal weaknesses? Because, gang, we've all got them. We're human. I work in my pajamas, for goodness sake. That is a major weakness in a lot of people's minds. But we want to look at our business, and as part of our business, let's look at ourselves too. So get out your handy-dandy notebook and start writing it down. You've got the PDF of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So we want to look at the same as we did with our strengths of ourselves and our businesses. What are the weaknesses? What are the areas that are not a strong suit for us? Let me give you an example. I'm creating online businesses now, which is a brand new thing for me. Just a year and a half ago, I decided that instead of continuing in brick and mortar exclusively, I was going to expand and grow and become a better person, a different person in terms of I was going to get all of these skills to be able to do and run my business remotely in my pajamas, on my laptop, or in my robes, on my laptop, from wherever I want to, because I want to begin traveling more. As soon as I get rid of this albatross house I'm living in, I will be able to travel more. So I have to look at what are my weaknesses and my threats. What's holding me back from doing what it is that I want to do? How am I limiting myself from supersizing my business and creating what it is that I say and I really want to create? How do I get from, and not how do I get, but what right now in my existence is keeping me from doing and reaching the top of that mountain? What is keeping me from supersizing and doing whatever it is I want with my business? And the really fun thing about having our own business is we get to create and structure the business the way we want it and what works for us. So we might find that there's some weaknesses in our business that are because we don't want to do that thing. We hate doing that thing. We don't want to work with those type clients because they are not our ideal clients. And so, yeah, we're not serving everybody. And that's not really a weakness. That's that's actually a strength to not serve everybody, by the way. To be able to know who you can best serve and only serve those people versus serving everybody. So the question is right now, if you don't have a target market and you're serving everybody, guess what the first thing you get to write down is? One of my obstacles, one of my weaknesses is, one of my weaknesses and one of my threats is that I'm trying to serve everybody. And I'm not going after my ideal, perfect dream client. And we're going to change that for you because that's critical. That's one of the foundational things that we need to do and know from the very beginning. But you know what? The vast majority of business owners, we don't decide that ahead of time. I would say that it wasn't until the last brick and mortar business that I just sold a year and a half ago. It wasn't until after I sold that business that I realized, and I was inadvertently doing it by filtering out the customers I didn't love and only working with the ones I did love, but I never consciously worked on choosing who I wanted my audience and my ideal customers to be until I started in the online world. And what I'm telling you is it's really powerful to do that now. So, weaknesses, threats. What are the weaknesses of my current business model? What are the weaknesses of my current business strategy? I'll give you one. Our Italian food business strategy began with the philosophy and strategy of make a little, sell a little. That is a huge weakness. That strategy sucks. It's one of those things I'll say sucks for emphasis. That's a really bad strategy if you want to supersize and grow a business. It's a total values mismatch and core values mismatch. So that's an example of that. So we want to look at our businesses and our personalities in our lives. For example, I'm a really good big picture person. I am not a good detail person. So I know that a weakness of mine is that I'm not a detail person. So when it comes to accounting and numbers and money and banking, I need support and help in those areas in order to supersize my business. Now, that's the kind of thing you want to look at for yourself. What am I really good at? What am I not? One is just, hey, I'm a big picture strategy person, awesome at that. But when it comes to the little detail, and I'm also I'm good at mapping out and planning the implementation, but actually having to go out and do each of the nitty gritty steps of the implementation, not my thing, not my strong suit. It could be because I need a magnifying glass to do a lot of things. And so that might be part of why I don't love those things either. And so what is it for you? What things are you do you hate to do? And you might be very proficient. You might actually be awesome at them. But if you hate to do them, write on this list in your handy dandy notebook that acknowledge I'm really awesome at this, but I hate to do it. I'm going to give you another example in my online world that I've discovered. I like to create content. I don't have any problem now, it's new to me, but doing videos, which is content, writing blog articles or articles, which is content, sharing stories, creating content I rock at. because that's a big picture strategy thing for me. And it's fun to do because I do things like wear masks and braid my hair in funny braids and wear my robe and pajamas because that's who I am and that's how I'm comfortable being. And so content, I love making content. I love creating content. Now, what has to happen to that content to get it out to the world so that I can really get my message out to more people? I'm not super good at that. I can do it. I am doing it, but I don't love doing it. It's the detailed, mechanical, routine things that I am not awesome at. So I know in order to supersize my online presence and my online business, I need help doing those type things. So yep, I can make the video, but then I need somebody that will transcribe it, get the text out of it, make me some other pieces of content out of it that then can be shared in various platforms on the internet, in the online world. So that's another example of a threat or a weakness of mine. So I want to brainstorm out all those and figure out what those are. That's enough lecture about this topic for today. Go ahead and comment for your scavenger hunt clue today. I already wrote it down, but I forgot what it was. Oh, hashtag yikes, Y-I-K-E-S, like yikes in, oh my God, that's a bad thing. So again, you can refer to the PDF to get hints and clues about things in your environment that might be weaknesses or threats to you. You know, maybe there's a law that's going to change that will affect the way you do business. I know a lot of people were just affected online that do business in Europe by this GDPR ruling, this new ruling of what you can do with people's information. And that was a lot. People needed to make, it wasn't massive changes, but people needed to make some changes in how they interact with and use people's information that they gather. They have to let them know what they're gathering, and they have to get permission to gather it and use that information. Wow, big deal. It's doing the right thing and for people, and it's serving their customers better. So why would you want to not do that? So go ahead and do this today. Hashtag yikes in the comments below, and you will have achieved this level of the scavenger hunt. That's it for me. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you again soon with the next step in the scavenger hunt. Bye.